Welcome to our channel, where the veil between reality and nightmare thins. Tonight, we delve into the unsettling world of haunted manuscripts, cursed relics that bind themselves to the unfortunate souls who dare to read them. We have 3 such tales for you, each more chilling than the last. Turn off the lights if you dare and prepare to be terrified. Deep in a forgotten library lay a book unlike any other. This library, shrouded in darkness and dust, held secrets long abandoned by time. Its cover, bound in ancient blackened leather, bore no title, only an unsettling emptiness. The leather was cracked and worn, as if it had witnessed countless ages pass by. This was the Whispering Pages, a manuscript whispered to be cursed. Legends spoke of its eerie power, a power that could ensnare the soul of anyone who dared to read it. The first whispers of the book's existence emerged from antiquarians and collectors, tales of a book that spoke to its reader in a sibilant whisper. These whispers were often dismissed as mere folklore, but those who knew the truth shuddered at the thought. The whispers started subtly, a faint murmuring that grew stronger with each passing moment. It was as if the book had a life of its own, a voice that grew more insistent the longer it was ignored. They promised power, knowledge, but at a terrible price. The kind of knowledge that could unravel the very fabric of one's sanity, leaving the reader forever changed. The book wormed its way into the reader's mind, twisting their thoughts and sanity. It was a slow, insidious process, one that left the reader questioning their own reality. The first known victim was a scholar named Elias Thorne, consumed by the pursuit of forbidden knowledge. Thorne was a man of great intellect, but his curiosity would be his undoing. Thorne dismissed the rumors as superstition and acquired the book. He believed that his rational mind could withstand whatever the book had to offer. He secluded himself in his study, but the words remained a mystery. Days turned into weeks, and Thorne grew increasingly frustrated with his inability to decipher the text. Frustrated, Thorne swore he heard a faint whisper like the rustling of dead leaves. It was a sound that seemed to come from nowhere and everywhere at once. The whispers persisted, growing stronger, whispering secrets of forgotten gods and ancient rituals. They spoke of things that no mortal should ever know, things that could drive a man to madness. Thorne, initially terrified, found himself drawn to the whispers. There was a strange allure to them, a promise of knowledge that he could not resist. He spent every waking moment with the book, his obsession growing. He neglected his health, his relationships, everything that once mattered to him. His mind began to fracture, seeing shadows and hearing voices. The line between reality and illusion blurred, and Thorne could no longer tell what was real. One stormy night, Thorne reached the final pages of the book. The storm outside mirrored the turmoil within his mind, a chaotic symphony of thunder and whispers. The whispers reached a fever pitch, threatening to shatter his sanity. They screamed of truths too terrible to comprehend, truths that no human mind could endure. The next morning, Thorne was found lifeless, his face contorted in horror. It was as if he had seen something so dreadful that it had stopped his heart. The book was gone, leaving behind only the faint echo of whispers. It was as if it had never been there, a phantom that had claimed another victim. Some say the Whispering Pages is still out there, luring in the unsuspecting. It waits in the shadows, ready to ensnare the next curious soul who dares to seek its secrets. Beware, for the whispers may already be calling to you. Listen closely and you might hear them, beckoning you to a fate worse than death. In a forgotten town stood a Victorian mansion shrouded in dread. Its towering spires and darkened windows seemed to watch over the town, a silent sentinel of sorrow. Locals whispered tales of a family driven to madness within its walls. The mansion's history was a tapestry of tragedy, woven with threads of fear and despair. The source of their torment lay in a blood-stained diary found clutched in the patriarch's hand. This diary, a relic of their final days, held the secrets of their descent. The diary, once fine leather, now stained crimson, chronicled the descent into madness. Each page, soaked in fear, told a story more harrowing than the last. The first entries were mundane, recounting daily life, but a sense of dread began to seep in. The writer's tone shifted from casual observations to anxious musings. Shadows danced at the edge of vision, whispers emanated from the walls. The once warm and inviting home became a labyrinth of terror. Nightmares plagued the writer, unseen entities lurking in the darkness. Sleep became a battleground, each night more terrifying than the last. His family became strangers, their eyes vacant, their smiles strained. The love that once bound them was replaced by an unspoken fear. The entries grew erratic, the handwriting frantic. Desperation bled into every word, the writer's sanity unraveling with each stroke of the pen. He wrote of a malevolent entity feeding on their fear. This dark presence, unseen but felt, tightened its grip on their souls. Desperate rituals only strengthened the entity's hold. The family, in their desperation, turned to forbidden practices, hoping to banish the darkness. The final entries were filled with frantic ramblings about sacrifices. The writer's mind, once sharp and clear, was now a storm of chaos and fear. The last entry ended abruptly, the final words scrawled in blood. "It demands!" The chilling message left a haunting echo in the silence. The fate of the family remained a mystery, their bodies never found. The mansion stood as a monument to their suffering, its halls echoing with their lost voices. The blood-stained diary, locked away in evidence, remained a testament to their madness. It was a relic of horror, a reminder of the darkness that once consumed them. Some whispered that the diary was cursed, a portal to the darkness that consumed the family. Its pages, still whispering secrets, held the power to draw others into its nightmarish embrace. Chapter 3: The Cursed Grimoire. Hidden amongst forgotten relics lay a book whispered to be cursed. This book was not just any ordinary tome. It was a relic of dark power, feared and shunned by those who knew of its existence. Bound in human skin and etched with arcane symbols, this was the cursed grimoire. Its cover was a grotesque patchwork of flesh, and the symbols seemed to pulse with a life of their own. The origins of the grimoire were shrouded in mystery, whispered in hushed tones. Legends spoke of its creation in the darkest corners of the world, where light dared not tread. Some say it was penned by a mad sorcerer. Others claimed it was a fallen angel's grimoire. The truth, however, was lost to time, buried under layers of myth and fear. Whatever its origins, the grimoire's reputation was undeniable. It was said to bring immense power to those who dared to read its pages, but at a terrible cost. It surfaced throughout history, leaving a trail of madness and death. Each appearance was marked by inexplicable tragedies and the rise of dark figures who wielded its power. One such soul was a young warlock named Silas Blackwood. Silas was a man of ambition, driven by a desire to master the arcane arts and bend the world to his will. Silas, obsessed with power, spent years searching for the grimoire. He scoured ancient texts, consulted with dark entities, and followed every lead, no matter how perilous. His search led him to a forgotten monastery in the Himalayas. The journey was treacherous, filled with natural dangers and supernatural guardians. After perilous journeys, Silas finally stood before the grimoire. The air around it was thick with malevolence, and the shadows seemed to whisper warnings. It lay chained to a stone pedestal, radiating palpable evil. The chains were not just physical restraints, but also magical bindings meant to contain its dark power. Ignoring the monk's warnings, Silas claimed the grimoire. The monks pleaded with him, telling tales of those who had fallen before him, but Silas was deaf to their words. As he opened its pages, the air grew heavy with the stench of sulfur. The room seemed to darken, and an oppressive weight settled over him. The symbols burned into his soul, filling his mind with whispers of forbidden rituals. Each word he read seemed to etch itself into his very being, altering him in ways he could not comprehend. Silas began to experiment with the rituals, gaining subtle powers. At first the changes were small, an increased awareness, a slight manipulation of the elements. But as he delved deeper, the rituals became more dangerous. He began to summon entities from beyond the veil, creatures of darkness that obeyed his commands. He summoned creatures from the abyss, commanded the elements. His power grew with each successful ritual, and he reveled in his newfound abilities. With each ritual, Silas's power grew, but so did the darkness. The more he used the grimoire, the more it seemed to consume him, feeding on his very soul. His features became gaunt, his eyes burning with intensity. He was no longer the man he once was. The grimoire had changed him, twisted him into something else. He pushed away loved ones, his soul becoming a withered husk. Those who cared for him could no longer recognize the man they once knew. One night, driven mad by power, Silas attempted the ultimate ritual. He believed it would grant him immortality and ultimate dominion over the arcane. As he chanted, the earth trembled, the sky crackled with energy. The very fabric of reality seemed to strain under the weight of the dark forces he was unleashing. But something went wrong, the power too great to control. The energies he had summoned began to spiral out of control, tearing at the very essence of his being. The ritual backfired, leaving behind a charred husk. Silas's body was consumed by the very forces he sought to command, leaving nothing but ashes. The grimoire vanished, waiting to lure its next victim. It disappeared into the shadows, biding its time until another soul, hungry for power, would seek it out. The cursed grimoire still exists, a testament to the terrible price of forbidden knowledge. It remains a dark legend, a warning to those who would seek power at any cost. Some knowledge is best left buried, for the darkness may consume us all. The grimoire serves as a grim reminder that some doors are best left unopened, and some paths are best left untrodden. Thank you for joining us on this terrifying journey into the world of cursed manuscripts. We hope you found these tales both chilling and thought-provoking. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more spine-chilling content. Until next time, stay safe and beware of the cursed manuscripts, for their whispers may be closer than you think.